and I am live at a stable FPS and a stable internet speed, which is my kbps, kilobytes per second, and YouTube knows that I am live. I have not a new camera, but I am using my phone as a camera now, which is pretty cool. And let me detach my tmux session and tmux attach target cp, and here we are, and I can just begin. YouTube says excellent connection, and now we are going to complete the rest of this CP31 sheet at 800 level. We have 1, 2, 3, 6 questions, and this should be easy. Well, not that, not if that is my goal, but yeah, I will do this. And okay, Moja likes arrays and serval and Mocha and serval. Serval gave her an array consisting of positive integers as a gift. Shit. Yep, that is cool. Mocha likes arrays and serval gave her. Wait. Yep. Now it's confusing. Mocha thinks that for an array of positive integers a, it is good if, and when there is a double F in if, it means if and only if the greatest common divisor of all the elements in A is no more than its length. That is pretty cool. And for an array of at least two positive integer, at least two positive integer, it is beautiful if all of its prefixes whose length is no less than 2 are good. Mocha thinks that for an array of positive integers, okay, if we have positive integers, it is good if the greatest common divisor of all the elements in an array A is more than its length. Okay, that makes sense. And for an array of at least two positive integers, so there could be also be negative, I guess. No, several positive. And for an array of at least two positive integers, it is beautiful. Okay, now they are talking about beauty. Beautiful if and only if all of its prefixes whose length is no more than 2 are good. If all of its prefixes whose length is no more than 2 are good. Okay, this is not good because the length is 2 and the greatest common divisor is 3. Right, GCD is 3, and which is greater than its length, which is 2. Here the greatest common divisor is 1, right? Is both good and beautiful because all of its prefixes whose length is no less than 2, all of its prefixes, okay, prefix just starting from the first and second, from first to second, first to third, first to fourth, those are prefixes whose length is no less than 2, no less than 2, so either it is 2 or greater than 2, are both good. And in this okay, here the greatest common divisor of the whole array is 1, so this is good, but this is not beautiful because 3 6 is not good. Makes sense. Now Mocha gives you the gift array A of n positive integers, and she wants to know whether array A could become beautiful by reordering the elements in A. It is allowed to keep the array A unchanged. Okay, that makes sense. So I am given an array and I have to figure out, she wants to know whether array A could become beautiful by reordering the elements in A. Whether it could become beautiful or not. That is the question. And it can become beautiful, I think. Well, we will have to figure it out. What if it cannot become beautiful? Now, this is the thing, this is the test input. First is the length of the array and then the array itself. Then In the output, for each test case, print yes if it is possible to reorder the element to make a beautiful, and print no if not. Okay, you can output yes and no in any case. Okay, makes sense. Click here, and this doesn't say anything for some reason. What is the name of this thing? Name of this question. Several mochas array. I have not done this. Yep. Several mochas array. Nope. I haven't done this one. Click here and this is not working. New click CCP. Okay. Boilerplate int n. Right. Would I need to have a? Yes, I think I would need to have a. First, I will take an n and then I will create a vector of integer. I will call it a, and then while n minus minus, I will do. I also need something else, comma c file here, c into c, and then a dot push back c. Now, since I have the array, what I can do is, first of all, I have to find out if it is good. If it is not good as whole, wait, I have to figure out if it can become beautiful or not. How much is allowed? Okay, and she wants to know whether an array A could become beautiful or not. It could only become beautiful if it is, if it could only become beautiful if it is good first. So first I have to check if it is good or not, right? And for good, I have to find out the smallest element, the smallest number, which I can do while I was taking them in. Min equal to, yeah, min. And then here I will take in the first number, make min equal to that number, and make this go one less time, and hit on push back min. Right, and then after this, I'll do min equal to is min smaller, is c smaller than min. If it is, then put c, otherwise keep min equal to min. Now I have the minimum number, right? And yeah, to find the greatest common shit, the I think when I'm taking the integers in, that is the point when I can when I can take figure out the greatest common divisor, right? And for that, what can I do? For, okay, right, I will have the first greatest common divisor, and I will see the second number, and I can figure out their greatest common divisor. How to find greatest common divisor in C++. Oh, GCD is a function, right? I take two, and standard GCD is a function. Okay, inside numeric. Okay, right. So I do not have to keep track of. I can keep track of the smallest number, right? I can keep track of the smallest number. That would be cool. And comma GCD, right? And here I'll make this equal GCD equal to min equal to this. And after getting every number, I will see GCD equal to GCD, GCD. Okay, let me rename that to something else. GRCD, greatest common divisor. GRCD, GRCD, and 6. Here we have GRCD, equal to GCD, I have to include a numerical here. Wait, numerical is nothing here. Um, and C++. Ah, greatest common divisor of two numbers. Uh, Shit, this is not the way that I want to do it. GCD recursive, nope, nope, nope. Numeric. Using C++ is standard library 17 or later versions provide an inbuilt function. This numeric. Numeric is nothing. So I will have to create my own greatest common divisor function. And there is, I guess, Euler's method to find out the greatest common divisor. I take in two integers. If b equal to 0, then return a. Otherwise, do this. Okay. Right. Find the greatest common divisor of b and remainder of ab. Right. If b becomes equal to 0, that is the second one becomes equal to 0, the remainder here is 0, then return a. And okay, I do not want to copy paste. GCD recursive int a int b. I'm taking in two numbers, and if the second number is equal to 0, in this, let me, do I have to increase the size now? If the second number is equal to 0, equal 0, then I return a. Okay, and if not, then I find GCD recursive b ab, b remainder ab, remainder of ab. But if a is smaller, then it would causing some problems, so I have to find the smaller number has to go second and the bigger number has to go first. If I put in 1 2, in that case b is 2, it is not equal to 0, and in this case the remainder would be equal to 1, would be equal to a in this case, and it would, yeah, so it makes sense, I guess. Int GCD, a function, takes an integer a and an integer b, and what it does is if b equal 0, then return a, else return GCD with b comma a remainder b. Right, and declare the function at the top. And yeah, and in this I will find out GRCD all and C. Right, now afterwards I have to check if it is a good array. And to check that, I have to see if GCD, yes, this is the greatest common divisor. If GCD GRCD is greater than a dot size, then we are cool. Then we are cool. Else we are not cool. Right? I think we are not cool if we do that. Right. Good. And for an array of at least two positive numbers. It is beautiful if its prefixes are that. Okay. Right, all the prefixes. Okay, so if the size is greater, is no more than its length. Okay, GCD cannot be greater than its length. GCD, GCD has to be smaller than the length. If it is no more, or it can be even equal to the length. But if it is not, then see out. No. backslash and not there but here, right? But if it is, then I have to see if by rearranging can I do some miracle, and that would only be possible if I rearrange these things in, right, if I have the smallest number at the start and then the second is smaller. All right, so to keep the GCD smallest at every time, what I need to do is, yes, that is my goal. I want to keep the GCD smaller. Hmm. Okay, I think it is making sense. GCD, I have to keep the GCD smaller in every smallest it can be in every prefix. And to do that, wait, this would only be possible if the GCD is equal to 2. If it is not, then right. If GCD has to be equal to 2, 2 or 1. If it is not equal to 2 or 1, then we have a problem. And second thing is that we have to have a 1 in the mix, I think. And wait, fuck. If the GCD is right, if the GCD is smallest, then I need to. If the GCD is 1 VRCD, if VRCD less than or equal to 2, I think then we are good. Then we are good because the smallest prefix that we want to be good is of length 2. So that is how we want it. And if the GCD is 2, I think we can figure out a way to arrange the prefixes in such a way so that the GCD always remains at 2. We can find out the two elements which make up the GCD to be 2 and put them in the start and then do our thing. So I think this would be cool. Put yes, backslash n, and let me see. Okay, it is not capital, and here also make this smaller. Otherwise, see out no backslash n. I think this should work. I don't know. Let me test. This is wrong answer in the fourth case, which is this. Here, what the GCD should be. The GCD is 1, right? GCD is 1, and it is 1 because of these two elements. Nope, it is 1 because of this and this, but they have the smallest number as 1, right? So, okay, all right. My plan with this was that if we can figure out the two numbers which are making the GCD equal to 1, we can put them at the start and we are good to go. But we might not have any two numbers like that. We can try and figure out if there are such two numbers, but is there an efficient algorithm that we can use to figure out such two numbers in the whole array? It would take up n square time, which is not good. Right, which is not good, which is not good, which is not good. I have 6 things here and this here. Hmm. Bro, your screen is not with shit. My actual bad. My screen was not visible till now. Shit, shit. Now it is. My bad. To screen. Shit, now it is visible. Competitive programming, hobby है or it helps in the job market. Hobby, I think, and hobby. And also it, yeah, hobby, but it helps in the way like maths helps you. It does not, it might not directly come in handy, but it improves you overall. That is important. Well, if you think people is watching our videos, then you know we surely don't want to watch the capture screen all the time. Yeah, I mean, screen got stuck. That was the thing. That is fine. And now this shit. Hmm. Hmm. I have to figure out a way to figure out whether there are at least two numbers which have their GCD equal to 2. I can put them at the start, and I think in this 10 and 14 they have their GCD equal to 2. Right, so that does work. So what was the problem in this? I gave the wrong answer in fourth, which is this, right? And in this, the GCD, what is the GCD? It is, nope, it is not 3, it is 3, right? It is not 3, it is 1. For this, it is 3 and 7. For this, it is 5 and 7. For this, it is 3 and 5. So none of them is common, right? So then the GCD would be 1 in this case. And can I pick up two elements whose GCD is 1? Nope. In this case, I cannot pick up two elements whose GCD is 1 or 2. Hmm. Okay, for it to be good, the GCD has to be 1. Shit. Yep. The GCD of the whole thing has to be 1 or 2 for my purposes. So it is not about the size. It is the size does not matter. It has to be 2 or below the whole GCD. If it is less than 2, then we are kind of good. Not exactly, but kind of good. But if it is greater than 2 or something like that, then we are not good at all. Like in this case, the GCD is 3, so we are messed up. And in this case, the fourth one. Here the GCD is 1, here the GCD is 1, here the GCD is 1, but we do not have any two elements who can make the GCD 1 or 2. So we have to find a way by which we can figure out if the GCD should the watching dropped to 0 when the screen got stuck. So that is bad. Now it is fine. So that is cool. A way to figure out the GCD, greatest common divisor, of two elements, at most two elements. And what could those elements be? I think the smallest and the second smallest element in every case. Is it the case? The smallest and the second smallest. 10 and 14. In this, they make the GCD equal to 2. Equal to 2, yes. And in this case, the smallest, 15, and the second smallest, is because they have the minimum distance between them. And if, but yeah, okay, or maybe I have to figure out a way in which I find the elements, the distance between them is the least, the difference between them is the least. Like in this case, the difference between 15 and 21 is 6. So if I have any chance of decreasing the GCD to any smallest amount, that would be between 15 and 21. And here also the smallest distance between 10 and is between 10 and 14, ignoring the fact that I have two 35s here, in which case I do not want the distance, the difference to be 0. It has to be greater than 0 and the smallest except 0. In this case, it is 3 between 3 and 1. It is 2 between 3 and 1. And in this case, it is 1 between 2 and 1. And in this case, it is 3 between 3 and 6. And right. So my whole game is flipped. I need to figure out the two numbers in which the distance is not, the difference is non-zero, but is the smallest in the whole array. And for that, it would be best if I could sort the whole thing. Yes, I need to sort the array. And to sort the array, I can do this. How to sort a vector in C++. Yes, I will be using an inbuilt function dot sort begin and end. That is cool. Okay, after taking in the whole thing, I will just simply take in the whole thing. Don't do this. Yes, that. Only do this much, right? And here sort and a dot begin, a dot end, a dot begin and end. A should be sorted by now. And now for int I equal 0, I less than a dot size minus 1 I plus plus. And in here I will say go there, delete these things and go here and do int min difference is min b due to some reason, and it will be initialized at equal to a1 minus a0, and then right, if wait mind equal to wait mind and also diff diff equal to a I plus 1 minus a I, and it is I can initialize mind at a dot size because I want it to be 3 or something like that, right? If um right, yes, I guess that no, that does not make sense. Let me make it equal to yes a0 minus a1, but this could result in, and so I will keep track of the smallest and the minimum number through the whole thing. And for that I'm going to, after doing this, I will do cn to c and min equal to max equal to c, and then do this, and min equal to c, is c less than min question mark, and if it is then c, otherwise just min, max c greater than max question mark, if it is then c, otherwise max. Then here, and I will initialize this at max minus min, and in here after finding the diff, if diff is smaller than the min difference, then min difference will become equal to diff, otherwise it will remain equal to diff. And yeah, then I will see if GCD of shit. I also have to keep track of what those numbers are which had the minimum difference. And shit, I need to find the difference's absolute value in here. ABS absolute. Now, yes, this does make sense. And then I need to keep track of the variables which result this difference, the number n1. Let's call them n1 and n2. Right. Okay, so if this is the case, then I will have to do if min is greater than diff, then min equal to diff and n1 equal to a I and n2 equal to a I plus 1. Right. And then yes, I have the numbers. I can then go there and see if GCD of n1 and n2, if this is less than or equal to 2, right, then we have a victory. So yeah, yes, with the capital Y. And else we don't, with the capital O, the capital N. Let's see. And CPP run, it says wrong answer in the first one and everything else is amazing. Why does it say? My answer says yes, but this says no. Because the min difference, it should be 3 in this case. Wait, GCD is this, right? And then we go printf. Wait, no, cout, right? And also I have to see that the diff is not equal to 0. Yes. Yeah, and and diff, that is diff is a number and diff is not equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, then we are messed up. Maximum minus minimum. Right, so initially mine will not be equal to 0 because I'm subtracting maximum from minimum. And yeah, diff will not be equal to 0. But then why am I getting this error? The size is 2 and I goes from 1, 0, right? And then I see this, the next one minus 0. So here we have 6 minus 3 equal to 3, and then we see is this thing true, and if not, okay, so even if it is equal to, then we are good. Now it should work. It doesn't, still it doesn't work. I had two elements, right, and it is not good, but it says this, right, and it is saying that the GCD of these two numbers is less than equal to 2, but how? And 2, and then a new line. CD 800, this CD 800 clang, plus plus a several mochas and out dot slash out. I have one test case which has two things. First is 3, then is 6. And that is messed up. There's some reason why do I have this big ass number? Why do I have that big ass number there? Write this and then min max all equals this. Okay, let me do min and max out there. Min max clang or slash out. I have only one test case. It has two numbers. One is 3, the other is 6. Min and max, they are 3 and 6. That is cool. Okay, I put mind there. So minimum difference is 3. Right, that is also cool. That is what it is. Now let's see if the min should be equal to 3. Yep, 3 and 6, that is cool. Right. Yeah, I think it might not be visible. Hey bro, I just completed my class 12th and so I am confused between CSE and ECE, which to choose as a career option. Please guide me. Well, I think it would be better to choose CSE because the topics there are more related to computer science and not towards electronics. But if you have your interest in electronics, the branch actually does not matter if you can have skills in whatever field you wish to choose. You would have to develop it on your own. So that is cool. I'm not making anything. I am trying to solve these questions. And any tips, bro? My rating is stuck between 1600 and 1700. Well, my friend, my rating is nothing. I don't even have a rating yet. I have not competed in any contest. Zero contribution. I don't even have unrated because I have not joined any competition yet. I'm just trying to solve these things and then I'll do a competition and see how that goes. Before that, yeah. Right, min and max are working just fine, but then n1 and 2 mind. Yes, n1 and n2 are misbehaving due to some reason. Why? I have A is just fine. Right, A is just fine here. Right. Uh, I am sorting it. It becomes equal to 3, 6, and then in this diff, find the absolute diff, right? Which is AI plus 1, and this, and diff does become equal to 3. But what is the problem in this case? If diff this and diff this. Okay, so mind is 3 to begin with, and diff is also 3 to begin with. Right, so 3 is equal to 3, then I should be going in this thing below, or I can initialize these things as this equal to max and n2 equal to min. That would also be fine. And I think this might work. Yes, this does work. Let's see and submit it. Oh, Ari Joshi, and choose no Quince. What do I have? Programming, competitive programming, 900 level. It is called a several something. Uh, uh, where is it? It is right here. Several. Submit. Let's see. A several and muchas array. It is taking some time. A wrong answer on test 3. That is messed up. Let's see what the wrong part is in the wrong answer. Wrong. Yes. Right. In the third one. In the third one, wrong answer expected yes. In the first token, found no. Okay. Okay, answer is this. It found no, but it was expected to be yes, and I have outputted no. Why? There are 100 elements in the first one here. Right, right. Most of wait, is it most or all of them are same? All no, all of them are not same. Right, all of them are not same. All not same, then uh, or is the messed up thing here? If int I equals 0, is there something that I'm missing? I vector, yes, I'm creating the array A successfully, and then I'm finding out min and max, right? That would be the greatest difference, minimum difference, right? So that is why I'm beginning minimum difference at that number, and then I'm sorting A, right? And then int n1, if it equals no, make it equal to max, and n2 make it equal to the minimum number, and then mind minimum difference equals maximum minus minimum. That is also good. And then I'm initializing difference and some number. Then I'm taking the difference of every number. I'm checking this, and min diff is not equal to 0, right? And then if that is the case, if min diff is smaller than if the current difference is smaller than the minimum difference, then and also minimum difference is not equal to 0, which it should not be, then minimum difference equals to the current difference, and I'm also changing these two numbers whose difference this is, right? And then I'm taking seeing GCD if it is less than equal to 2, right? The numbers with the minimum difference, if their GCD is less than equal to 2, if their GCD is less than equal to 2, right, then I should be able to put them in the start and do my thing, right? The answer came out no, but it was expected to be yes. Why, why? Is there a number with whom GCD would become something else? 36,000, 3,006, 3,61,201, and this is 1,26,811. Shit. Eric Lee invariant. The first two numbers must have a GCD less than or equal to 2. Yes, that is what I'm not the first. I can rearrange them, so that is up to me. And but if this constraint is satisfied, then the prefix GCD of the remaining element is at most 2. Yes, so you can just use 2 for loops. Yep. Also, if you are learning this, try not to look at the test cases and try to think of edge cases yourself. Okay. Yeah, is this you, the RMO guy? RMO, I don't know what RMO is. I initially started with web dev. Now I am learning JS. But the question is, it really worth to do coding in 2025 as generative AI doing most of the work? It is up to you. If you think that your AI, I think AI is going to help us more than take our job, and I don't really have any experience to have more sophisticated answer for this, but I am learning to code, so that is where I am going. I need to do this for electrical engineering. That is all. Did you get Thanos? And if entered in this field, so what I have to do to stand out from the crowd? Have, I guess, deep knowledge about how the things are happening in under the hood. Eric Lee, what's your rating? You should always greedily sort because you can have co-prime elements that are not adjacent, but you can order your array such that the co-prime elements appear at the start. Co-prime you shouldn't give 10 minutes for a 900. Yeah, don't give more than 10 minutes for a 900 rating question. But I have to figure this out, right? This is not working. Okay, this co-prime, what are co-prime numbers? First of all, are co-prime numbers. Co-prime numbers are also known as relatively prime numbers, two or more integers that share no common factor other than one. Two or more integers that share co-prime numbers. Okay, that is cool. So if I have any co-prime numbers or or numbers which have their GCD equal to 2, then we are good to go. And for this I'm sorting the array and then I am finding out the minimum difference. I think that is how you are supposed to do it. And then I am seeing if I can figure out if I can find the GCD. Okay, co-prime numbers. If I have co-prime numbers, that works. So how do I go through an array and find out co-prime numbers? Eric Lee, if you are still here, I think you can help. What I am doing is I'm finding the two numbers whose difference is the smallest, and I think those numbers will have the smallest GCD, right? And it can be 1 or it can be 2. And that is what I am doing here. And it is not working in the third case. And I do not even have the third case fully here. It says dot dot dot. Basically, think of it this way. We just need to find two elements which have a GCD with at most 2. That is what I am doing here. And my way to do that is first take in the whole array. In this while loop, I'm taking the whole array and then I'm sorting the array smallest to biggest. And wait, so instead of sorting, the efficiency is going to be let's say n square. So instead of sorting and then going through the array and again, I can stop all of this and even this and then go through the array for n I equal to 0 and I less than a dot size I plus plus, and then again for n j. This seems very inefficient. J equals to I plus 1 and j less than a dot size. And yes, I see the bug above. In I goes less than this and minus 1. And since size is a function, I will find it. I will store it in an integer and then put it there. And this also like this. And GCD. Initially, I will take it equal to let's say GCD equal to int GCD SGCD smallest GCD equal to let's say 3 because I want less than or equal to 2, and then I will find out the GCD of the current elements by this if GCD of a bracket I comma b bracket I, if it is less than smallest GCD, then smallest GCD equal to that GCD shit. So let's say C GCD for current GCD equal to GCD A I comma B I, right? And then instead of this I can just do SGCD equal to C GCD. Is it if it is smaller than SGCD question mark, then make this equal to SGCD, otherwise and make it equal to CGCD, otherwise SGCD. And yes, B is nothing, it is A. And here instead of this, checking this, I have to then check if SGCD is smaller than equal to 2, then I think we are good to go. Let's see, it is running, and wrong answer for these yeses. Why? I have wrong answer for these. And okay, n is at most 100. N is at most 100, so n into n 10,000. Okay, so that is cool. That is cool. And then you need to fix your vector input. My vector input is shit. Okay, you seem to be a veteran, I guess. Right, right. I am taking in n and then vector input. Then I'm making s equal to size, yes. So because it is a function, and then this, right? I is going from 0 to s minus 1, that is cool. And j is going to less than s from I plus 1, right? P R, and wrong answer for 3. Okay, and do not look at the test cases, but try to figure out edge cases on my own, right? Find the GCD for these two and see GCD. If it is smaller than the current GCD, then make it equal to CGCD, and this, and the smallest GCD, if it is less than equal to 2, then do this. Okay, but I'm getting yes when I should not be getting yes. Right, why is that? A pushed back, my array input is fine now. Okay, I'm messing up in the third case. Let's check that third case. In this, the answer is 1 3. After rearranging, this can become equal to 1 3 and 1 3 6. So the answer should be yes, but I'm outputting no. That is strange. Question 0. I know bit of JS and mostly the markup language HTML and stylish. Yes. Okay, that is cool. What is this compiler? It is Clang. Also, comparisons should be AI to AI, AI to AJ. GCD should be shit. Shit. Right. AI and AJ. CPP run this and correct. That is cool. Thank you. Shit. A several muchas. Thank you for that. And what is your code forces profile? Jatin Raghav. Just my name, Jatin Raghav, with a underscore in between. And I do not have a rank yet. I have not participated in any competitions yet. Not yet. And choose a file. Several and muchas. Submit and successful. That is cool. That took more time than it should have. Took 54 minutes. Shit. That is long time. In which year are you? In my second year of college. You are given a sequence from A to AN, each element of A is 1 or 2. Okay, find out if an integer k exists so that the following conditions are met. K is less than equal to 1 or less than n. Okay, and this plus k multiply the first whole part should be equal to the second whole part. That is cool. Okay, I just have to find out if the number of twos is even or not. If it is even, then half go here and half go the other side. If it is and there k exists that satisfies the given condition, print the smallest. That is cool, doable, right? And if it doesn't, in this case where I have an odd number of 2, then this won't work, right? Click on this extension, go to there, and BLP for boilerplate. It is not cheating. This is a key map that I have created here. Int n c, and yeah, I would need the whole length of the array. Yeah, cn to n, and then vector. Would I need the thing afterwards? Yes, first I have to go through the whole thing and see if it is even or odd. The number of twos, is it even or odd? And then if it is even, then I will find the index to which that I have to go, where I have passed half of these twos, and I will call this a, while n minus minus c n to c and a dot push back c, and also here count of 2, and if if c equal to 2, then count of 2 plus plus, and also initialize that at 0 and 9. After doing all that, see if c2 remainder with 2 equals 0. If it is even, then we are good to go. Else if it is not even, then I will just see out -1 new line without these braces. And if it is 2, then I'll create another integer c2 counting, wait, index of 2, let's say, and start at that at 2, and while I 2. Okay, I also have to keep count of 2, right? Keep count of the number of 2s that I have passed and the index. Okay, I will go through a for loop and call this count 2, because some reason this is CPP. I do not have to worry too much about the name of the variables that I am passing, but I also need I later on, so I have to initialize I here, so comma I, right? And then here, yeah, um for I equal to 0, I less than a dot size I plus plus, and then if a I equal to 2, if it is equal to 2, then cc2 plus plus, and after everything I will check if cc2 equal to c2 divided by 2. If that is the case, then break and see out I with a new line, and if that is the case, I can remove I from here and here, and cc2 plus, yes, I'm in counting the number of twos that I'm passing. If the number of 2 is 4, then I have to pass 1 2 twos, and after passing 2 twos I will see that 4 divided by 2, this becomes equal, and Here we go. Right. CPP test. Wrong answer. Fuck. Why? I have to pass in the minimum number of that. Why is it wrong? CPP run. In the first case, I give out one and in okay, okay, right. It is not zero indexed, so yeah, it is not zero indexed. A one and two CPP. Let's go. A one and two CPP. Yep, this one. Submit. Let's see. I think this should work. This should be accepted. It has been accepted. My extension tells me. Yep, accepted. Cool. And now back here. Do you have Discord? I do not. I am on Discord, but I do not have my own channel. Like for for my YouTube channel, I do not have a separate Discord server. That is not there yet. I can create it. Okay, I will create it today and I'll put it in my channel's description and below every video. An array, moving on to the next, make it beautiful. Shit, is it the same that as the one that we just did? Like one before the last one that we did. An array A is called ugly if it contains at least one element which is equal to the sum of all the elements before it. Okay, if the array is not ugly, it is beautiful. Okay, for example, this is ugly because 9 equals 6 plus 3. And okay, you are given an array A such that this thing, okay, it is in sorted order. You have to reorder the elements of A in such a way that the resulting array is beautiful. Note that you are not allowed to insert new elements or erase existing ones. You can only change the order of elements of A. So you are allowed to keep the array A unchanged if it is beautiful. This should be easy. I can just flip the whole thing around. Right, I can just flip the whole thing around, right? 6, 6, 3. If the first line contains one integer, yeah, that is cool. There can be 2000 test cases, and right, there can be n is up to 100, and okay, the first line contains one integer n, which is 0 to 50, and then second line contain up to 100 elements. Due to some reason, for each test case, print the answer as follows. If it is impossible to reorder the elements of A in such a way that it becomes beautiful, print no. Otherwise, in the first case, print yes. Print n integers, any beautiful array. Right? Otherwise, in the first line, print yes. In the second line, print n integers, any beautiful array which is obtained by a reordering the elements. If there are multiple such arrays, print any of them. Right, if it is ugly, ugly is only in this case. But if I make it into descending order and I only have positive elements, right? So if I convert my array into descending order, then the next element would, it cannot be in theory or in any way equal to the sum of the elements before it. Only in the case when there are two copies of the greatest element, that would mess things up. And if that is the case, then even then I should be able to do it. Right, the only case that it would not be, that it would mess up is if I only have one element, copies of one element through the whole array. There is only one element in the whole array and it is repeated in the whole array. Like I only have an array of, let's say, x. I think that makes sense. First n and c, and right, and greatest number, max, right, c into n, and then while n minus minus, I do not need an array. I have to see the maximum number. And before that, I will take in cn to c and n minus minus to make it go one less time. And I first have to find out what is the maximum element is, and second, the maximum, if does it repeat more, is the maximum element the only element that is repeating multiple times throughout the array, in the whole array, right? So initially max equal to c, and I will go and see if c, right, this, I like this format more. Max equal to, if c less than, if c greater than max, then make max equal to c, otherwise keep max as it is. And then I would like to go through the whole thing again, and if that is my intention, then wait, yeah, max is equal to an element, right? C, right? Okay. Instead of that, I can have another integer. The only case that this does not work is there is only one number that is being repeated throughout the array, and to see that, I can have max, I have C, the current element, I have the maximum element, and that the thing that I just described would only be true in the case when let's call it anything x, and make x equal to these two. And what I just said, that the whole array has one element repeated, it would only be true if x is always equal to max. Right, initially it is, and then if x equal to max after every change, if x still remains equal to max, then we are cool. But if it is not, it is not equal to max at any point, and then we are good to go. Right, then we are good to go, and I can make max, let's say, equal to -1, and yeah, I can make max equal to -1, and then while n minus 1 minus minus n, I can do cn c to exhaust the whole array. No. If it doesn't equal, then I can just see out yes with this. After doing this, after taking in the whole array, I can do this, and that the only thing that I'm confused in is this going to exhaust the whole thing, right? Yeah, because the minimum number of n that I can have here is 1. When I reach this line, 13th line, the minimum number of n that I can have is 1. And then yes, after this I can say break. I will break out of this while loop and set controller, right? PPP run test case, and wrong answer, because I also have to give out the pattern, and if that is the case, if I do have to give out the pattern, then shit, I would have to sort the thing from highest to the lowest. Shit, this is very simple-minded stuff, and there must be some more sophisticated manner to do this thing. Shit, I cannot read the chats below due to some reason. Part chat. Yep. In which year are you? Do you have this car? Second year over, or you will go into second year? Second year is about to be over. My exams are running late. Yep, it is about to be over. And one more chat. No, it's easy way. Yeah, this one. I mean, this is easy, but I'm thinking that there should be some more sophisticated way to do this, right? Which is faster. But I guess the main goal is to just get this thing done. So what I can do to do this thing the fastest way will be to create a vector of integer, make it a, and then here instead of all of this I can just go c in to c and then a dot push back c, after that a dot, nope, sort a dot begin and a dot end, and then yeah, see if the first element is equal to the last element. If a is 0 not equal to a dot last, a dot end, it is an iterator. I think that should be a good comparison. A dot end, right? Or this, or there should be a better way to get to the last element. A dot last, a dot end, a dot begin at mm, -1, right? That should do it. If they are not equal, then shit, I can give out the whole array. Okay, also let me have the size s equal to a dot size, or I can just have the size from here dot s and s equal to n, right? And here instead of this I can do bracket n minus 1 if this is the case, and then for int I equal to n minus 1, I greater than equal to 0, I minus minus C out uh, a bracket I, and then a space, and after the whole thing C out a new line, and then what can I do, right? If this is the case, then I have to print this out, and before that I have to print out yes, and in the else case I simply have to print out no. No, right. That is cool. CPP run test. It should say wrong answer. Yes, but yes and no should match. Yet, yes and no are not matching. Yes, here matches. Yes, it is matching here, but it is saying yes in all the cases. Why? In this case, it is saying yes. In the second case, it should not say yes in here. This is the exact thing that I'm hope. Shit. This is the exact thing that I'm checking for. If there is only one number and it is the only number in the whole array and it is being repeated, this is the thing that I'm checking for, and I'm checking like this for it, like this. If this is not equal, right, and it is equal, shit, how did this result in yes? This thing, how did this result in yes? Shit, I'm taking in the whole thing. Yes, I am. Makes sense. Makes so much sense. This was the thing. Now they should match or not. N minus minus taken C, push in C. Right, I am assigns A. I am creating the array and then I am sorting the array. Smallest to biggest, right? And this shit. if a0 is not equal to a n minus 1, that is the last element in a. But when a is equal to 10 10, then they should not be equal. They are equal, and if they are equal, then this is false, and I should go to no, but I'm not, so I have to see a bracket 0, a bracket 1, and before between them this thing, and after them a new line. Run test and see. In this, it is equal to 10 10, so it should have outputted in no. If okay, and what is n minus 1? Test this. N minus 1 is this due to some reason. Why? What is n? N is minus. Yes, because I am stupid, right? S minus 1. Now we are good to go, and even here, this should be S size, right? And yeah, I should see no here. Yes, that is cool and good enough. It's called A Make It Beautiful. Let's go. Choose file. A Make It Beautiful. Make it beautiful. Here we go. Submit, and this should work. Solution has been accepted. Wrong answer on test 1. What? How can it be wrong? The messages have gone. Okay. Directly use sort in descending and keep a counter to the right side and swap repeated elements to the right counter. Wait, before that, should there is a lot of chant that I'm not used to this. Use sort in descending. You can do it on because it is already given in ascending order. So shit, that makes sense. That yes. It was given in the question that it is in sorted order. It was given. Yep, it is in descending order. So all I have to check is if the first element is equal to the last element, and if it is not, then I can just reverse the whole array and give it out. So I don't have to do this. This is already sorted. And yes, that is the only part that I have to remove. Uh, yeah, this should work. But it said that I gave the wrong output in the first case due to some reason. This should not have any change, right? Wrong on test 1. Yeah. Due to some reason it is wrong on test 1. Why? Output this. Answer, wrong answer in the array is not beautiful. Test 1 case. 6633. 6, right? Uh, okay, even if there are 2, I can make this 6 3. Okay. The way that I am doing this is wrong. Okay, makes sense. You can just reverse it. Yes, in that second last element and the last element could be the same. Yes, so instead you could print the last element and print the rest of the elements in ascending order. Print the rest of the elements in ascending order. That makes sense because the I have the greatest element at the start and then the smallest at the second, and the third element would then not be greater than the greatest element, and it would keep on going. And yeah, that does make sense. That is actually quite smart. Bro, try one-dimensional puzzle. I am doing this right now. One-dimensional puzzle. Okay, I will look into that. That is the way of saying no. Hamza Ahmed, can you also try this on a good problem? Okay. Okay, that does make sense actually. To give out the last element and then the whole thing from the start. Yes. C out a bracket s minus 1 and then a space and then starting from the start. Starting from 1 till I less than, no, starting from the start. Yes, I have to start from the start, but go up to s minus 1 and I plus plus. Yeah, that was actually fucking genius, I have to say. I can give out the last element and then the whole array from the start in ascending order. And the fact that this was already sorted was a hint in the direction that how I have to do this. Make it beautiful. Okay. Shit. Yes, that does make sense. Make it beautiful. Submit. Uh, has been submitted successfully. That is cool. Accepted. And what's your code forces profile? Mine is Jatin Raghav. Just if mine is what you are asking for. This is my name on code forces. Everybody likes uh, good arrays. Okay, an array A can be good if for all pairs of adjacent elements, okay, are of different parity. Okay, parity is it even or odd? Okay, note that an array of size 1 is a trivially good. It's trivially, yes. You are given an array of size n. In one operation, you can select any pair of adjacent elements in which both elements are of the same parity, delete them, and insert their products in the same position. Okay, so their parity would remain same. Find the minimum number of operations to form a good array. Okay, 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 that is doable. Okay, I think I have a solution in my head. Yeah, I have to give out the minimum number of steps. Okay, the minimum number of operations. Yeah, boilerplate, int n and c current, and I don't think I have to save the array. I can do this as it is. While n minus minus. Okay, what are the things whose track I will have to keep? C and C. The things whose track I will have to keep is what was the parity of the last one and what is the parity of the current one. And if they do not match, then I will increase my number of operations by 1. And if they do match, if they do match the parity, then I will increase my number of operations by 1. But if they do not match, then it is cool. So let's say A for answer. A starts at 0 and I will also have L. L is the last element, and here I will have Cn to L, and I will go one less time. Here I will have the current element here, and if their parity, so I have to check their parity of C and L. So the parity of C would be a remainder of C by 2. If remainder of C by 2 equals remainder of L by 2, then you have elements with the same parity and I have to increase my answer by 1, and else then nothing, and L equals to C at the end, and all I have to do is see out A with a new line, right? And C2P run test. This should work. Correct. Cool. A, everybody likes good array. Choose file. A B C D E F G. Everybody likes good array. Submit. That should be correct. Solution has been submitted. Accepted. That is cool. I would just want to see accepted here. Yep, that is cool. We have done that. And extremely round is the next question. Let's see that. Extremely round. Let's call a positive integer extremely round if it has only one non-zero digit. And to just go back to what Eric Lee said here, it was actually pretty cool that we can put the greatest number in the start and then give out the whole array in rest of the array in ascending order. We'll remember that. Let's call a positive integer extremely round if it has only one non-zero digit. If it has only one non-zero digit, okay, for example, this is all of these are extremely round. These are not extremely round. You are given an integer n. You have to calculate the number of extremely round integers x such that, right, you are given an integer n. You have to calculate the number of extremely round integers. I am given an integer. What the heck am I supposed to find out? You are given an integer n, right? You have to calculate the number of extremely round integers x such that, okay, up till n. Okay, okay. That should be doable. First of all, from 0 to 9, I will have to take in the length of n, and there should be a formula, right? There should be a formula for this thing, and yeah, I can figure this out. Right, I have n, right? And let's say n is the length of n is L, right? And then I have, shit, why is the background different? That is messed up. And then I have different places. Shit. Yes, yes, I know this is taking time, but I like doing these things. Yes. And right now I'm not in a competition, so that is also cool. But I'm practicing for a competition, so I should not waste my time like that. Okay, and this is L, right? This is N, let's say. And if N, I have to figure out L first, right? And after knowing L is the length of N, and after knowing that, then I have to see the formula would be like something L. If L is 1, then my answer would be 9, from all numbers from 1 to 9, and I think even 0 would be a right answer. In this case, the first one, answer is 9 due to some reason. How is it 9 in the first? Okay, no. In the first case is 9, right? That makes sense. So it can be, wait, x is at least 1. So okay, if L is 1, the answer would be 9. But I also have to keep track of what n itself is, right? I cannot entirely depend on n, right? So two things. I will find out up to L minus 1, right? Up to L minus 1, what are extremely round numbers, all numbers up to n minus 1. And my friend is calling me, but I will talk to him later. But then after that, I have to find something else. Uh, right. Um, yes. Okay. Okay. So if let's say L is till here, right? And this is, then my answer would be 9 for this, 9 for this, plus 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 9 for this. Yeah, that is extremely simple. And then, wait, fuck. The answer is just sum of all the digits in n. No. Take the first. Okay, yes. Sum of the digit at the greatest value, place value, is sum with the integer with the greatest place value plus 9 for every subsequent value, for every subsequent integer. That is doable. Wait, I didn't click this extension. CPP, BLP, and take in the integer n, cn, n, and while we have an n, right? And let's say here a for answer. While we do have an n, what I want to do is this: if n less than equal to 9, right? So and a is initialized at 0. If that is the case, then a plus equal to n. Otherwise, that is in else, a plus equal to 9, and second of all, n equals n divided by 10. I want to remove the last digit from n, right? I want to remove the last digit from n, but this would make it a non-integer. How can I make this an integer? Not absolute. Round, I guess. Okay. Uh, how to get int by int division in C++, return an int. I think the English got a bit awkward there. Result will be 2. Okay, if the result is being stored in an integer, so that it will be an integer. That makes sense, right? Because n is an integer, right? And at the end, after that, it on this, I have to do this after every time, right? Right. After every time. And after this, see out a with a new line. I think this should work. Would it work? If n is, let's say, 99, then I will go through this. N is 99, I will go there. And is it less than equal to 9? Nope, it is not. Then else I will do this. A plus 9, a becomes equal to 9. And then now n equals n divided by 10, which equals 9. And now here I come and n does become equal to n becomes equal to 9, and then I see is it equal less than or equal to 9, and then I add n, which is 9, to a. It becomes equal to 18. A becomes 18, and n, which is 9 divided by 10 becomes equal to 0, and n becomes equal to 0. N becomes equal to 0. I won't go through a loop, and I will print 18 again with a new line. Let's see. Run this, and answer is correct. The name is a extremely round. Let's see. Submit. Oh, extremely round. Cool. Submit. Let's see. This should work. Mhm. It does work. Now, the last question of the day. If as in n is an integer, then n divided by n 10 is always an integer. Yes, because it is floor division. Yes. That makes sense now. Yep. It has been 1 hour and 34 minutes. And Eric Lee, where are you from? I guess you are from America. And since you are able to see all these things pretty easily, I would suppose that you have done this and you have been doing programming for a while, and that you are at a higher efficiency. Efficiency is not the right word. That you are at a higher level of coding than me. And if that is true, then you are doing second year student. Okay, in Australia, that is cool. Second year student, same as me. Ah, shit. I have to catch up. You are given, and yeah, the question was that why would you be watching a stream in which a person is struggling with these simple things? That is the question. It says blindly now due to some reason. You are given three integers n, a, and b. Determine if there exists permutations. Shit, I'm bad at permutations. Permutations. Determine if there exist two permutations p and q of length n. Or it might be curious for you due to some your curiosity might be the thing pushing you here. I don't know. You are given three integers n, a, and b. Determine if there exist two permutations p and q. Okay, I have three integers, two permutations p and q of length n for which the following conditions hold. Okay, permutations. Okay, the length of the longest common prefix of p and q is a, and the length of the longest common suffix of p and q is b. Hmm, that should be doable. Length of the longest common prefix of p and q is a, and the length of the second is b. That to me seems pretty simple. I can find two exact integers of length a and put them, and then two integers of exact same length of exact same permutation, uh, a number which is of length b, and put it at the end, and the edge case would shit. And the thing to do them the right thing to do would be to put a number, letter in between those two numbers, two permutations of numbers I'm supposing here, right? Put another number in between of those two which is different, and that would work, I guess. And the total length of p and q would be equal, and it would be equal to a plus b plus 1. A permutation of length n is n. Okay, and p and that has to be equal to n. Okay, okay, okay. A permutation of length n is an array containing each integer from 1 to n, exactly once. Fuck. For example, this is a permutation, but this is not a permutation. Yes, shit, I did a permutation question before, so I should have remembered this definition. And do you remember any of the assembly code you learned? Yeah. Well, not exact, not at the level that I would be able to write the assembly code right now, but I do understand what happens in a processor, that you have to first allocate memory in RAM and then um, take the address of that memory into a register, and we can do that by putting a label on that memory address and then having that address in a register call up what is the content on that address and then work with that. Is not a permutation. 2 appears twice. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that should be doable. Okay, I only have to output yes or no if such thing exists or not. So in what case would such a thing exist, and in what it would not? Uh, yes, here, and then I have first I have t, the number of test cases. Then the only line of each test case contains three integers n, a, and b, and I have n and a, n and b are less than 100, and this should be doable. And the only case that this is not doable would be when a plus b plus 1 is greater than n. That would be the only case that this is not doable, right? I think that is the only case. And here, this is yes in the first case. Yes. Yes, this is yes. And it even says yes in this case. Wait, the first number is okay, the first number is n. Okay, and in here it says no in this case, and it says no in this case. Wow, yeah, it makes sense to be no in the second case due to my logic, but it, it can be equal to this. Okay, when permutation is when n is 1, I have 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3, and my second array, yeah, it would be equal. It would have to be equal to make the first and the third. Okay, so I need to have a gap. I need to have at least two numbers in the middle, so which I can swap, which can be the difference in P and Q, right? That is one thing that I would need. And second, that A plus B plus 1 has to be has to be less than or equal. It cannot even be equal to n. Yes, that makes sense. That is why this case is no, right? It has to be less than n. Okay. And in this case, it is not less than n, but the answer is true. And this is the only special case. And it is 1, 1, and 1. And Erically, you said not to look at these question and look at these test examples on my own and to try to think of the edge cases on my own. My bad. BLP, integer n, a, and b, right? And c in n, a, b, right? And then, right, first of all, I have to check. I had two conditions. First is, right, n has to be greater than a plus b plus 1. That is one condition. And yes, I have to take in the numbers. Nope, I do not have to take in the numbers. And I have to see if, and right, either this is true, then we are good to go, right? Or a equal to b, which is equal to c, and this might not be the right way to do that. And b equal to, which c is nothing. Replace that with n, right? This and have this here, like this, and then this, and if this is true, then we have ourselves something that we can work with. Otherwise, else see out no for this permutation. CPP test, and there we go. And a two permutations. Let's see where two permutations. This is the one, submit, and this should work. It does work. Here I am beginning in coding like I am in my second semester of computer engineering. Give some suggestion to make coding fun. To make coding fun, look at it like you are trying to solve something. I mean, for me, I had to force myself to look at it as if it is fun, but it is not always fun. Sometimes you do have to push yourself. And if you are just beginning, then this is a course that I would suggest. This is Harvard's course for computer science, and it is totally free, right? For beginners, and this is totally free, which is fucking cool. Uh, Now I can refresh. This was a problem which I was unable to solve. Don't try to count, right? I have done all of these problems at 800 level, except this one, which I'll try on my own later. Yeah, 800 level is done. Now moving on to 900 level till, okay, 0 frames have dropped during this stream, which is amazing. And I do have a good camera now, which is just my phone being connected to my laptop, and FPS is stable. 15 more minutes and to go. 9 forked. Let's go. And also here, quit Vim and make there 900 CD 900, and in here 900, and right. Yeah, I have an update in new Vim. That is cool, and everything is updated now. Forked. Let's see. Lunchbox is done with playing chess. His queen and, okay, Lunchbox is name of a person. Okay, Lunchbox is done with playing chess. His queen and king just got forked again. That is one of the worst thing that can happen to you. And if your rook is also forked, fuck, it just feels terrible. In chess, a fork is when a knight attacks two pieces of higher value, commonly the king and the queen. Lunchbox knows knights can be tricky, and in the version of chess that he is playing, knights are even trickier. Okay, instead of moving one tile in one direction, two tiles in the other, knights in Lunchbox modified game move A tiles in one and B tiles in the other. Okay, Lunchbox is trying is playing chess on an infinite chessboard which contains all cells x, y, where x and y are positively possibly negative integers. Okay, Lunchbox's king and queen are placed on x's kx, xk, yk, and xq, yq respectively. Find the number of positions such that if a knight was placed on that cell, it would attack both the king and queen. First impression is that it seems infinite, the number of places that I can put it. It is not. I have an infinitely bigger chessboard. Some positions would be in which the queen can attack me, and that would be horrible. Okay. In each test case contain each test okay, this is T, the number of test cases. The first line of each test case contains two integers A and B. Okay, A and B are given to me and describing the position and the possible moves of the knight. The second line of, yeah, if A and B were variables and I had to be the one to choose them, there could be infinite possible combinations. The second line of each test case contains two integers x, k, y, k, and they are between, okay, less than 10 to the power 8. And okay, the position of Lunchbox is king, and then the position of Lunchbox is queen. It is guaranteed that Lunchbox's king and queen will occupy different cells. Okay, will occupy different cells. I have to find out the positions. Okay, possibly negative, where x and y are, they can be negative. That is, I can put my knight on negative. Well, usually there are two places, but I do not find a way. How would it be not two places, right? In what scenario? First of all, that. Uh, yeah, shit, I have to click here. The extension cpp dot blp boilerplate. And here, which language means okay, and which I must learn in first sim. I learned C, and now in second sim I am learning C++. DSA. Now which language should I must learn to get job? To get a job, you need to be able to do what the company wants you to do. And right now, most of the companies I think, want you to do JavaScript and Python and make good projects. Okay, it does not matter which language you can do, because the main thing is that can you learn more, right? That is the main thing. So do as much as you can, build big projects, even though I have myself not made projects, so not good for me to say that. For don't try to count, the second string has to be made by prefix of the first string plus some multiple of the first string, the one that I was unable to do. Okay, for don't try to count, the second string has to be made by a prefix of the first plus some multiple of the first string, because it is being repeated prefix of the first, some prefix of the first, and then the second. And if that is not the case, okay, if that is not the case, then that is not the case. Okay, okay, the second string, I have the second string and the first string, but when I am repeating it, then it might mess up, because after repeating it once, what I have is shit. That does make sense. Whatever I have, it is some prefix of the first string, and then I also have the rest of the string. Wait, yes, some prefix or not prefix. I think it could be postfix, prefix of the first string plus multiple of the first string. I think it could be a postfix. It should be a postfix. A suffix, not postfix. A suffix, the end part, and some number of the second string, or prefix, and yeah, I could start from the end and say the prefix and some number of the original string. Yeah, that does make sense. That does make sense. That is, keep repeating the first string until it is greater than the length of the second string. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, so I have to do it brute force. Okay, okay. Not right now. Right now I'm doing this, but I get your point, and I will do it after the stream, or maybe when I am on my own. But right now I am doing this one. This one is my first 900 level question. Big thing. Right here in n, then I have a b, then I have x king, and then x y king, and then x queen, and then y queen. Right, those are the integers that I have. A b xk and yk, xq and yq. Right, and Erically, you got brains. That was a cool observation. And I wonder, is this the first time that you are seeing these questions, or you have done them before? I think it is the first time that you are seeing these questions. That is cool. And Cn, right? I have A and B, and A and B cannot be zero. Can they be? Nope, they are not zero. Right? So at least it is one. And if both of them are one or equal, even then, if both of them are equal, then my queen can get to the knight, and it is not forked, but it is a chess rule, not specific to this. So I have to see what is the definition of fork that they have given. A fork is when a knight and attacks two pieces of higher value, commonly the king and the queen. Lunchbox knows that knights can be a tricky, and in the version that he is playing, okay, it can be a trickier instead. Okay. When it says 0, in that case, A and B should be equal to, should be same. First I get T, and then I get A and B. A and B are the first things. So here I have 4, 2. Okay, and the answer is 0. Why? Because I have my king and my queen on the same thing. Okay, that is one thing. Okay. In this case, it says, right, so the queen attacking the knight at the time of fork still counts as a fork. Okay, that is what I was trying to confirm there. Okay, so I have to find out if, wait, there is no end. Why would there be an end? Right, A and B. A and B. A is in one direction and B is in the other direction. Uh, what I need to see is A in one direction and then B in another direction. Right, this should be easy. If 2A equals the difference between either xk and xq or yk and yq, that plus and 2b should be equal to the difference of the other two, which is not equal to a. So I would have to check a few conditions for that. Right. If okay, I will keep it here. X difference and y difference and x difference equals to the absolute value of xk minus yk, and y difference equal to the absolute value of wait, not x y q, right, and to the absolute value of x. Yeah, they have to be the same on the same axis, right? Yk minus yq, right? And if that is, yes, after that, see, either 2 into a equals xd, and at the same time 2 into b equals yd, the other direction. Uh, right. Either it is shit if they are on the same axis, then also there could be positions, they will not be on the same place, right? At least one of them has to be different. In that case, it is 0 on one axis. In that case, 2b will not be equal. Yeah, so I'm having some thoughts in my head. This, let me try to explain. Let's say I have my king here, or I can do better than this thing. Let's say I have my king at one place and my queen at another place, right? And then I have my knight. Shit. I have my knight. I have my knight by n, and that knight can move a distance in one direction and b distance in another direction. This is a and this is b. Now, to be able to attack both of these at the same time, this is what I need. My knight will go up till one point in one direction and up till another point in another direction. And for B, wait, I got to shorten this a bit. Up that much, that much. And this goes here, right? Like that in another direction. And this goes, gonna shorten this thing. Right, so, and if this vertical distance between Q and B, this has to be equal to 2B, B- uh, 2B, and I think this makes obvious sense. And this difference between their positions on the other axis, let's call it x-axis, has to be equal to 2A, or 1, 2. I am at, because, but my knight itself is at a block, at a box. So if the king were here, if the king were here after, let's say, two blocks, the difference would be equal to 2, and a would have, yeah, so that does not count. This is cool. So the difference would have to be, and this is what I am trying to code here, but the edge case is this, in a position when both of them, when this thing is flipped over its head. Let's say this goes here and this goes above, shit, this goes up here, and this, if the king and the queen are on the same axis, then the difference between them vertically is 0, but still my knight would be able to reach both of them from this direction and also from this direction from below. This does not look good, but this is, yeah, from these two directions my knight would be able to reach them, and in here my knight would be able to reach them from this, and this would be one way to reach them, and the second would be something like, I don't know, uh, first I move a, yeah, let me change this. First I move this, let me also change the color, move this, and then shit, this, okay, there would only be one way. Okay, if this is the case, then no matter what, my knight will only be able to get to these places in one way. Right, that does make sense. Right, this would be one, and the other would be uh, the other would be this, and these both of them point to the same position of my knight. Yep, that does make sense. Both of these point to the same position for my knight, but in this case the positions have changed. That makes sense. Yep. 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 So there are two cases. Okay. And they will never be on the same place. Right. So first I will check for this, and then I will check for this. And to check for this, if A is not, mhm, either this thing is true, or 2 into A equal to YD, and 2 into B equal Y xt, difference in x. And if that is the case, then the answer would be A with a new line. Now, checking for this condition, in this condition, either one of them has to be equal to 0. Either xd equal to 0 and either, wait, since it is, yeah, a and b can be anything. And then either 2 into a equal to yd or 2 into b equal to yd. That has to be true, right? Either this whole thing or yd equals 0 and then either 2 into a equal to xd or 2 into b equal to xd. And let's see out. The answer is 2, and why the heck did I wrote a over there? That does not make any sense. And else else see out -1, I guess. Oh wait, 0. Let's see. It is running a wrong answer in X, all except the first. Wow, wow. The first one is this, right? They are these places. My answer is 0. Their answer is 2. Why? A and B are 2 and 1. A and B are 2 and 1. And where can I make a graph? Or I can maybe imagine them on in my head. I have a situation in which I want a white line, right? Racist. Um, right. In this, then what am I trying to do here? My coordinate axis. That is cool. I have my own coordinate axis. Bruh. And my king happens to be, let's say, at this place in blue. My king is here, right? And my queen is at another place. It is at Q. It is here. And my knight can move 1 and 2, which is the normal case. Right. Chess.com. Let's go and shit. What I have here is this. I have my king here and my queen here, and my knight can move 2 and 1. Wait, king here and queen and 1, 2, 3 here, and my knight can move 2 and 1, right? My knight could be here and it could be here. It could be here or it could be here, and it will for both of them. It would for both of them. Bruh, 4 spaces tab. Nah, it is 8 spaces tab. I have it like customized to be 8 spaces. And yeah, this should work, but my algorithm will say that it is not working because in both the cases the difference is equal to 3. But how the heck is it working? Chess.com is, see, my king is here, my queen is here, and let's say my king is here. If my knight is, yes, yes, that does make sense. That actually does make sense. Either this or yes, yes. That does make sense. That does make sense. Else if one more condition, it is similar to this one, and the answer here would also be equal to 2, but in here Yeah, instead of 2a, we are going a plus b, and in this, instead of 2b, we have so wait, yeah, a plus b equal to the both the differences, and yeah, so I don't have to check this much, right? A plus b equal to xd equal to y difference, or equal to, and then here we have this, and at the same time a plus b equal to this, right? CPP test, and correct answer. That is cool. A for CPP. It says, see, now we have to change the folder. A for CPP, submit, it should work. Hmm. Shit. Wrong answer on third. See, wrong answer on third. Why? In third, it was only one, right? My knight can move this much. My output is 0, but the actual output is 2. Why? They're not too far apart. And wait a minute, I will have to wait, go for a minute. Uh, I am back. Let me put on my mic. And now you guys can see me. Let me also change this. Now we are cool to go. 4 spaces tab is not what I have. And yeah, this one I can move. These are quite a few spaces. Okay, let me test. What is 2a? Hmm. How can I get to these places? Right. Yeah. Yes, I can get to these places from outside even. Yes. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. That makes sense. If I have a place at some point, this knight can now to point out the places that this knight can that my knight can go to. If this is a place, then my knight can go these two places. It can go at these two places. It can go at these two places, or these two places. And now, what have I accounted for? I have accounted for this in this way, right? Mm, right, let's say if my target is here, how can a knight get to different places? That should be the question. Yeah. Yes, yes. Let's say my king is here, and my knight can get to my king from all of these different places. Okay, and I have accounted for this part in which my knight goes in one direction and then towards towards the target. And this also seems that way, going in its direction and then towards the target. No, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something does not seem right. I can also get to this king like that and like that from outside. Yep, and this would show how this case, for this case, the answer is yes. Because let's say if I have two pieces like this and this, either I can get to those two pieces this way, right? This is one way to get to those pieces. Then, yeah, I mean, this one is also the same thing, right? So this one doesn't count. Um, that way, or the pieces could be aligned in this manner, in which case I would go towards them in this way, right? And I have accounted for that. And these are the only cases that I have accounted for. Not the only cases, but I have also accounted for something like this. As I'm going in this direction. Yeah, I have also accounted for a case like this, right? This is also one way to get to these two pieces, but there is also another way. If my knight is pretty far away, then I can get to these places like this. And for this, what I have to check is their x distance has to be their x distance plus the knight's one of the knight's move has to be equal to the other, and the other, like, their other distance has to be equal to the sum with this and should be equal to this, right? um, right, yes. So one more else, if here xd plus, right, I have to a few things, xd plus a, either xd plus a equal to b, equal to b, and xy, right, dy y difference plus b equal to a, either this or x difference plus b equal to a, and y difference plus a equal to b. And if that is the case, then I have to, shit, since I'm doing the same thing, I can put all of them in the same if condition, but that would be a bit too coggled up, and this seems beautiful, better. 2 2 2 2 2 1, yes. There would be a point in which, right, this seems fine. This does seem fine. This seems fine. This should be able to do it. A forked. That is the name of the question. Which job do you want? Hyper, whichever pays. How use competitive programming like you? How use competitive programming like you? I installed it, but it opened in VS Code. But I want like you. I am using NeoVim, and I am doing like this setup. I'm using Ghosty as my terminal, like here you can see it, and inside my terminal I am using a program called NeoVim, and my NeoVim is running on another program called Tmux. So there is a bit of layering, and then in my NeoVim I'm using different plugins to make this thing possible. So yeah, you'd have to look into quite a few things. And it took me about more than 6 months to get this thing running and understand how this works. So it is a bit hard. You can look into NeoVim. That is pretty cool. NeoVim is cool. Submissions, submit. Let's go. It has been submitted successfully. That is cool. Uh, Wrong answer on test 3. Shit. Again. What did this thing say? My answer was 2. Wait, did I not change it? I did change it. Either x d 2 into yeah. Either uh, 2 into xd uh, this thing index and 2 into xd here also, and find y into y t and more deep. This should work. This should work. Yeah, this should work. Worked. Submit. Has been submitted successfully. Let's see. Again, wrong on the third one. This into this plus one of the sides should be equal to the next, and then this plus this plus one of the sides. Wait, not one. In both the cases, it is the same side. Shit, yes. In both the cases, in this, yes, let me label these. In this one is has to be right. This one is A, and in this one is A, and this one is B. Not this one is B, and this one is B. So I am doing 2xt plus B equal to and 2xy plus A. Okay. So in both the cases, I am adding the same thing and I am comparing it with the same thing. Say make this B, keep this A, make this B, make this AB, AB, BA, BA. This should work now, at least. Yeah, it does make sense in my head for the fourth or fifth time. Yo, they have a diagram. Solution submitted successfully. It says messed up on the third one. And let me copy these things, these numbers, and work on them. Okay, this my A is this, B is this, and this is the only way that my knight can reach both of these positions, right? Because A and B are too big to be to have anything to do with this, with the difference. And say xy xd here is equal to 85 and yd here is equal to 85. Okay, xd is equal to 85 and yd is also equal to 85. That is cool. And now shit, and this difference, and if I were to, this difference is also equal to 85. 85, yes, this difference is also equal to 85. A minus B is also equal to 85. Go A, so I go B, then I go this, this. Shit, why? Right, I don't need two. Yes, yes, I do not need two. Now, I think it will work for, yeah, yes, it should work. It should work. It should work. It should work. It should work now. It should work right now. It should, and there could be a more optimal way to make this comparison, but let me first see if this is working, then I will optimize it. Premature optimization is the root of all evil, as Don Knuth said. Okay, but at least I passed the third test. That is cool. Are you studying? Yes. My rating is none. I have not participating. I have not participated in any of these competitions yet. In the sixth one. 0.6 here. This is the thing. Okay, in these later cases, they are checking for individual things. Okay, instead of this, should look for a process on my own. Alright, if I have two points, then I can keep my knight here to get to them here, like this and like this, like this and like this. Yes, this is one way. This is another way. This is one way, and then hit this, and then shit. Yes, this, and then another way would be this. Another way would be this. I need a pencil. Another way to get to that place would be something like I go B first and then A. Would that make sense? I guess yes. In this case, what I'm doing is this. Is this like mathematically possible? My B is this. Uh, in this case, uh, there would be only one point. Is because this thing is not cannot happen in chess. And this has nothing to do with chess. Let me look at the board. Right. So normally knight moves here, and then 1 2. Yes, shit, yes. This is also okay. So I have to account for every two possible pairs that the knight can go to. Okay, I have accounted for uh, pairs like this, which have one block in between, or any number of block in between. I have accounted for them, and then I have accounted for things which, yeah, this is the same. They have some number of blocks in there between, and I have to account for blocks that are like this. Yes, and then I have blocks like this, which one is here and the other is here. Shit, yes. Wait, no, I have accounted for this type of thing. To get to this place, I can go here and I can go here, and also I can go to get to this, I can go here and then here, and to get to this and this, I can go here and then here. Right, 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 right. Hmm. Hmm. Yes. This thing with this, when there is a vertical or a horizontal distance, then all of those cases are covered. But if there is a distance like this shape, then those cases are also covered. All of them are covered. The this, all of these cases are covered. And what about, I say this and this? This is covered. And what about, I can, yes, I can get to two things in different ways, right? I've not accounted for something like this. What I have accounted for is something like this, something like this, and then something like this when I am going in from the outside, getting in from the outside, and then I have to account for something like this. In this, B plus one difference is equal to A and is equal to A, and then B plus the other difference is also equal to A. That is not something that I have accounted for. B plus one, that I have accounted for this. B plus one difference equals A, B plus other difference equals to A. This is the same as this, B plus this difference equal to A, and B plus the other difference equals to A. So yes, this is done. So which is the case that I am missing? I'll have to see. Bachelor's or master's? I am doing my bachelor's, second year. I am getting a recommended random kids coding. Honestly, great to good. The cool kids now are great to see. I guess you might want to think about putting your LinkedIn too on your profile. Yes, I will do that. I will put my LinkedIn. I've already put it in my put down my GitHub. I will create a Discord server today only, and I will also put that in the description of every video and stuff like that. Right, in this, I will not be able to reach them. So what is the case that I am missing? The sixth number. Click to see test results. The sixth, yes, this is the one causing the problem. Here I have, let me copy and paste this here and make this white. Hmm. XD, XD, let's call the first one X. XD is 16 and YD is quite a big. To their 28 to 82. Okay, and what is A plus B and A minus B? A plus B is 2 from the back, 262, and A, like the absolute difference is more like B minus A, that is equal to 4. Now, how would I be able to reach those places? Or what is 2A and 2B? 2A equals 130 is 230, 60, 262, 58, and 2B is 266, and none of this is matching. None of it is matching. Okay, 2A equals this thing, 2B equals 2B minus 2A would result in 8, which is half of xt. That is just a random thing. But wait, what's the problem? My output is 0, but the actual answer is 2. Hmm. 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 But the actual answer is 2. A. Okay. A minus B, A plus B, 2A to B. Shit. That is the only thing that can happen. Either I move. Okay, let me think of this from a very general point of view. From wherever my knight, from wherever my king is, I need to move. I can either move A blocks or I can move B blocks in any direction, right? And after doing that, then I move the remainder. Then I move. Yes, I have to make 4 moves, right? Either I move first A, and my total displacement in A direction. Mm. Yes, it can be A or B. Yes, yes, makes sense. And just like this, like that, this, that. Mm. Either I move A or B distance in any of the two coordinates that I have. Shit. When I am at any position, I have two moves available. A, that is a horrible A. I have two moves available, A or B, and I can either move A or I can move B. And what is the total number of moves that I have to make to get from one place to the other? This is a pretty general approach, I guess. The total number of moves has to be 4. And yes, 4, but I don't care about the pattern which I take. I care about the end result. So to change my distance on one axis, I can move A here, B here, and then A here, B here. This is a very messed up way. Right. Um, either shit. The answer for this thing should be false. Should be 0. But it is saying 2. Shit. Why would that be? Anything in the comments? Good luck, man. You will do well. See you in another life, maybe. Yes, if there is any other life, we will see. Mm, shit. I should not be struggling on this thing. This seems pretty easy. The thing is, I cannot figure out why this is wrong. It says 0 and this one says 0. This one says 0. My answer is 0, but the actual answer is 2. And I think the actual answer should be 2. Why is this like this? Dx and dy are this and this. What pattern of moves can I make to get to this place? Right, so I can either go A or B in any direction. Right, let's say that. Okay, so here I have to cross a distance of 16. Right, and if let's say I am here and I have to get to this place and the distance in between these two places is 16. How do I get there? Right, this is a very beautiful 16. How do I get to that place? Only available moves for me are A and B. So I first I can either go A, full A, and yeah, full A or full B. Full A and full B are not equal to 16, so that is not an option. I can go A and then back B, that is their difference, which is also not 16. I can go A and then B, their sum, which is also not 16. I can go A, which is also not 16. I can go B, which is also not 16. Those are the only moves that I can make. I'm not considering any moves in the other axis because that does not make any difference on where I am on this axis because I have to cover these 16 blocks. How do I do that? And have I copied this correct thing? 384, 400, and 122, 404. Shit, I am actually stupid. This, shit, I am actually stupid. Shit, my bad. These are not the values of xt and xy. The value of xd would be something like 262, and in here the value would be 4. 262 is 262. 262. What is a? Yes, a plus b is also 262. 262. Yes, there is a perfect match, and this is the case that I have not accounted for. So I'm going to one place. The distance in x is 262 that I have to cover. Then so I'm making a plus b in one direction. That is my one move. And to cover the other thing, I'm going a and then minus. And what this translates to is something like this. I have one point here, then the other point here, and my path is something like this. I'm going a here, then b here, right, and then b here, and then a here, and this is the place that my knight is stopping at in the middle. So this thing is equal to a, and this thing is equal to b, this thing is equal to b, and this thing is equal to a. And what this translates to is, wait, so am I not checking for this thing? Distance in x equals a plus b. I am not checking for this thing. If xd, and this has to be very general, distance in xd equals to a plus b, right? Xt equals to a plus 2b. Yeah, yeah, it should appear in this category. Okay, after this, else if, else if, right? A plus b equals xt, and a minus b, which is, right, my bad. A minus b, I will create another variable for that. DAB, difference in AB, DAB equals absolute of a minus b, and then here this thing equals to y. Yes, I am checking for the opposite thing here. Kind of similar, yeah. Equals not y, yd, y distance, either this or a plus b equals yd, and, and a minus b, or more like dab a b dab dab equals x d, distance in y, and see out. In this case, answer will be 2. And I just think this for real should do things. Shit. This for real should do things. Let's see a fort CPP. Shit. And I think I've accepted. It says accepted. Finally. I think after this, yeah, now the stream, I will end the stream. But I think after this, I should see their official solutions to improve my end. Right. So, wait, it has been about 3 hours. That is fucking amazing. Okay, yeah. So I think now I should watch their official solution on their website. Like the solution for this thing. This is one in which I struggled. So I should see the solution for this. And yeah, let me just do this one. Whose answer I know from this guy, Eric Lee. he suggested the answer, and I think he is right. First, there has to be a substring of the first one, and then 800. Uh, don't try to count. That is the one. Yes, I have. What do I have? I have string x and s. Right. I'm taking them both in, and then yes, sub pos find x. Right. I was unable to do that. Right. At this point, I have both the strings, and then I have to see that some substring of x, and then I will some keep appending x to itself till it gets either equal to or, and that is the brute force solution. S dot length is one thing. Okay. Int size equal to this thing, and how can I append x? X equal to x plus x. I can do that. Okay. While x dot size is less than, not less than, but less than twice, yeah, less, for it to be a substring, if it is, while it is less than or equal to s, it can be equal to, yeah, not s, size, right? So what I will do is int pos is x dot find s, right? And what does this thing output? This thing gives out position. If pos not equal to string string npos, right? If it is equal to, not equal to npos, that is I found it and we are good to go. And yeah, okay, I also have to keep a counter I, which is initially equal to 0, right? And after this, right, I can just do cout I backslash n, and otherwise do quite a few things, I plus plus, and x equal plus equals x. Hmm. Shit. Okay, I do not have the things for this one. Press here. Right. Copy. Don't try to. Right. Wait, what is the problem? Click here. Right. CVP. A. Don't try to count. Save. CVP. Test and wrong answer. Why? In all of them. That is uncool. A and 5. Okay. Yes, I am taking A and 5, and then I am also taking X and S. Uh, the heck did I output 0 in the first case? Pos not equal to no pos. That is, I found it. If x dot find s, that is the way that you do it, right? Uh, no. Um, well, just delete, delete. V. Wait, I am in a totally different Oh, okay. Don't try to count space. And how did it look before 4 days ago? Yes, my phone is running out of battery. That is also fine. Okay, the substring has to be there. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, go to 100 and I will just delete all of these things. And go back to this 800 and ls and a don't try to count, not cpp. uh, no, not this. This is not it. I and yes, I plus plus, and this is not the way. Replace it, run this thing. Wrong. Okay, it is wrong here, here. It is wrong on 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 places, and -1 if it is never possible. Okay. uh, uh, right, size into 2. Okay, I am unable to answer output -1. After this I can just break. When I found the correct thing, I can just break and not grow up. That was, I guess, causing some shit. If pos is not equal to npos, that is, I found the thing that I was looking for. So now I can do this. Nah, replace this with x. Find x, replace this with s. PPP, run this. Wrong answer for shit. I will do it on my own time. In my own time. I think you can skip problems till 1000. They are basic logic. They click automatically. I am unable to solve them. So hello, Chaitanya Ingale. I guess you are from South India. And that would be the end of today's stream. And yep, bye. That will be the end for now. Battery is also running low.